Hello? Yeah, we are rolling. And I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to Electric Ground. This should be episode 20, and I'm sitting here with
Corin Raymond.
And you got a lot of artwork behind you. You're a very busy woman. What would you say are the things that you do?
I like to craft. I really love laser engraving, especially people's faces, or ultrasounds are really fun.
That's fancy.
I like to do these vinyl on canvases because I can take any words that are in my brain and put it on a canvas and then look at it and remind myself, hey, you know.
That's right. Well, and that's unique. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of people in town who do this. They'll probably go strictly to shirts or something to that effect, but this is unique because the canvas could be different.
It's a little bit different than shirts. Canvases don't hold moisture like shirts will. So a canvas, the vinyl can fall off, things can happen. So you actually have to pre-do the canvas. You have to sand it, then put the vinyl on. I don't use permanent vinyl for that reason. I do a heat press and then I press it to flatten, and then I go ahead and go over it with a clear coat to make sure that you can see what was meant to be there.
And how long have you been doing this?
About 2 years.
And you feel you picked it up fairly quickly too?
No,
It took a while.
it was hard.
And just adjust.
Very first thing I made was a shirt that said Kid Rock's biggest fan. You couldn't even read it.
Oh man, we've come a long way. I feel you. And the artwork, did you initially start making it for you, or were you getting requests from people?
Well, what had happened was me and my best friend were sitting together and I said, look at this cool machine I found on Facebook. If we had that, we wouldn't have to buy shirts. And she was like, oh, well, let's order it.
Just like that.
And now it's 5 different kinds of machines later.
And the type of customers you get, I mean, this is anywhere from neighbors to businesses?
I have a couple businesses, but most generally it's my baking or childcare customers, because I run an in-home daycare for special needs kids, and I bake special breads, cookies, cakes for people with healthcare issues.
And the child care route was just, it was unrelated to the artwork. It just kind of, both those things happened.
No, they happened together. The artwork went right with the child care. Like, we craft at least 5 times a week.
Nice. It gives them something to do. It makes it interesting. I imagine the kids can't just go anywhere else to get that same interaction, right?
Oh, no. I'm probably the only person that's like, let's make sugar cookies and has flour all over her house for like 3 days.
That's okay. All right. Well, it's memorable. I know that. And so, with the crafts, have you tied yourself to like holiday events and stuff like that?
I like making wreaths.
Nice. What about it? Is it time consuming? Is it tedious?
Therapeutic.
Yes. I feel that.
It's one of those things that if I'm not doing it, I kind of feel like I'm overwhelmed.
If you're not doing it.
No, if I have no crafting in front of me, I'm overwhelmed. I have too much going on. But as soon as I start crafting, everything falls into place.
Because you have that opportunity to express yourself and release, right?
Right.
And so Halloween comes to mind. All right. How on a scale of 1 to 10, where does that rank in your holidays?
7,000.
I got you. That's most accurate. And what about Halloween makes you feel that way?
Because it's the one day a year that you're capable of being whoever you want to be, and nobody criticizes you for it.
Yes, yes. On the other days, 364, you getting chewed out, talked bad about because of how you live, what you look like,
Or your healthcare
or
issues,
healthcare
or
issues.
you have a limp or
Yeah.
a stutter.
But for one day, we gotta be normal and equal playing
And
field.
everybody loves everybody.
That's right. And that is, you would agree, that is something that's not recognized easily by everyone. They don't see that, although that's a fact, right?
I completely agree with that.
It's crazy. So, and fortunately, through your artwork and stuff like that, you could help unpack that for people.
I really do try regularly.
Yeah. Well, and it's one thing I believe awesome is that the truth usually is what penetrates all the skepticism. The fact that that is a true statement is definitely going to get people where they need to
Well,
be.
when it comes to art, specifically art, any kind of art, music, any art, it's the only time that somebody can be true to themselves. Everybody has some kind of artistic ability, whether it's making a beaded bracelet or sitting there watching a movie and critiquing it. All of that is art.
Yeah, I do that all the time. Talking about why they chose that location, that lighting, and including the bloopers and mistakes.
Right, yeah.
That wasn't there in the last scene. Yeah, so as far as besides the holidays and themes, when it comes to important causes, though, you've attached yourself to important causes as well, like suicide, anti-suicide.
I have 3 causes, actually.
Okay, let's see.
I have mental health awareness, I have suicide awareness, and my biggest one is childhood cancer awareness, because childhood cancer only gets 3.8% funding for the whole 100% for cancer in the world.
And you would think it's should be the opposite, right?
Well, there's 183 childhood cancers.
Yeah, we'd have to do something about that. The awareness is definitely a first step. And within the city, what would you say your feedback or your influence has been? Have you been able to put a dent in that direction?
I mean, with my Halloween montage that I make in my yard every year, we have probably raised, in 13 years, this will be the 13th year. In 13 years, we've probably raised over $20,000 for childhood cancer awareness just having Halloween at my house.
That's amazing. And just diving more into the Halloween thing at your house. How does that look? What does that consist of?
Well, I can't give you details about this year, but let's go with the general aspect, okay? We'll have a cemetery. We have full food. I cook for 1,000 to 2,000 people. There is a dead man with all the food. There will be chips. There will be candy. I will make caramel apple cupcakes. There will be popcorn balls. All the things that you remember from the 80s and 90s, it's here at my house. We do, a few years ago, we played golf for prizes, popping balloons. Sometimes I'll hang dead heads, and if the kid hits a dead head with a dart, they get a fancy, some kind of prize that's outside of everything. It's usually a creation of mine.
Yeah.
And the families just keep coming back.
So you're able to let loose on that day. Well, that's nice, and the fact that you're local and just you pulling this off is impressive, And what would you say are your goals for the next year or two?
Well, I want to create an LLC. I want my crafting business to become a business, so that when my children my son's about to graduate college, he had leukemia twice, and my daughter has had mental health issues for most of her life, will be graduating in 6 years. Once that happens, I would like to be able to take all this beautiful stuff and go on the road and take it everywhere and do whatever and be able to help my children become the people they want to become by me being the person I am.
Definitely. And you recently were at music in our conference at the backyard last Sunday.
That was one of the most amazing things I have ever seen in my life. And I have been to lots of conferences. I have never once seen not one piece of animosity between anybody. Ever in a situation like that. You could go to a fundraiser, somebody's going to argue about something. There was no arguments. It was beautiful.
The feedback that you felt you got from that as far as your artwork and everything.
I honestly think that just the knowledge that I existed was a huge piece. But Mike, you put me in this weird spot. And you knew I'd flourish. You knew I was crazy. But you put me in this weird spot and gave all the people this sunny ass spot, right? Everybody wanted to be in the sun. I don't know. It was 106 degrees. And all of a sudden, those people were coming over here going, we need to be together. We need to work together. I'm way over here. They're way over there. There's no reason for us to go between the stage. All of a sudden, we're all friends and we're in a group. And now we actually have a group chat of some sort with some people that were there.
Yeah.
It's kind of enlightening thinking that all of us come from different artistic backgrounds.
That's right.
And we're capable of just being there for one another.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
And then authentic's the word too.
Authentic, yes.
It materialized out of nowhere on its own.
It really did.
And it didn't matter.
And then T. Aguilar.
Yes.
Let me please.
Oh my God.
I am so, I thought he was coming to play. I saw him, I thought he was going on stage, okay? And he started painting, and I go over there, and he has children, 2 all the way up to like 15, painting his painting with him.
Yeah. Boss move. Boss move.
That was the most beautiful moment. I have a video. It's the most beautiful moment I could possibly ever imagine. Parents weren't getting mad because he was letting them. It was gorgeous.
It was free, right? It was free.
I don't want to say Woodstock, but it had a very big hippie vibe, okay? We weren't as far as Woodstock, though. And then me running around, and I don't want you to think you overworked me, darling, but me running around doing the things I do because I know this, or I can do this, or I can handle this, or whatever. And meeting just the random people that showed up and them telling me how amazing this was and how they wish there was more of this proved to me that maybe we should branch out into something bigger.
Absolutely. And maintain, make sure
Right.
we don't skip a year or anything.
Exactly.
Which lets me know that we stayed on target with the whole goal of it, which is get everyone to collaborate, agree on something and show up.
And that song. That song. You know what song?
Oh, everybody got on stage.
I cried.
Oh, snap.
I was standing over there. I was picking up all the water bottles and stuff, trying to get everything, and y'all all got on stage, so I think, okay, it's the end. You warned me, but I didn't listen. So I'm like getting ready to go because it's after 8.
Yeah.
And I turn and I'm just like, I didn't know what to say. It was the most beautiful thing. It didn't matter who you were. It didn't matter what kind of music you listened to. It didn't matter what kind of art you did. At that moment, every human in the venue was staring with tears in their eyes and jumping and dancing and just so excited. And it was beautiful. Beautiful. I can't explain anything about the MAP conference, but it was beautiful.
I am definitely glad Impact you felt the same way that I did. So, different on my side as far as scope. I couldn't see. I was right in the middle of it, but the Impact sounds like the bullseye. So, and
it hit my child that way too.
Oh yeah.
My daughter didn't know who any of y'all were except for Far From Range. And all of a sudden, she's asking who these people are. I'm having to explain the lineup. I don't know who's on stage. Hold on. I'm working.
Yeah.
And she's like, she's got people on Spotify from Waco. I don't know how we created a monster, but we did, and it's amazing.
All right, we're going to keep it going. Lastly, and you're a person that I've come to know does things with meaning. What's one message you would want to get out to everyone?
Love one another. Don't look at your differences. Look at your strengths. And make sure that if their strength's not your strength, you can hold them up.
Yeah, I totally agree. And on that note, just so that way that marinates with everybody, this is Cruise and Say with Rap Visual Magazine. Sitting here with Corin. Very thankful for y'all to tune in. And that's Electric Brown, and we're out.